Hey, what's up YouTube? How you guys doing? So right now I'm currently at the Beijing International Airport and the time is it's 11:24 and it's Saturday, December the 3rd, and I wanted to do my November favorites video while I wait for my transfer, and I have to board my flight in about 20 minutes. So yes, I do have a time limit. I have to keep this video short because I do not want to miss my connecting flight back to America. I'm going to America so I can celebrate the holiday season at home. And home for me is America technically. So just to get that out of the way. But anyways, this is my first time in China, by the way, and it blows my mind to think that I probably do not have a single Chinese viewer, because YouTube is banned here in China, mainland China. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's mind-boggling because, I mean, I'm not that big of a YouTuber yet, but I have fans from around the entire world, according to my YouTube analytics. But to think about how vast and how enormous the population of China is, I think it's the most populated country in the world. Don't quote me on that, but if I'm right, then let me know down below. To be the most populated country in the world and to not have a single viewer, it's crazy. Then again, I might have a viewer that's living in China right now. Let me know. You probably can't let me know because YouTube is never mind. But other than that, I just want to talk to you guys about my first time being in China. Technically, I am here, but I'm not actually in the city of Beijing. I do want to come back one day as a tourist and venture around, but this is the only country where I'm actually going to read the terms of agreement to connect to the free Wi-Fi. Because usually when I travel and I go to an international airport, I usually just skim through the lines and just skip some sentences and click agree so I can get the free internet, just get logged in. But this time, I'm actually going to have to read the agreement because I don't want to get in trouble for something I didn't know, and I don't want to get stuck here in China. That'd be scary, especially with Christmas right around the corner. But anyways, let's not delay any more time because it's a race against the clock for this video. Can you guys hear me well? Is my audio okay? I had to walk pretty far down so that no one would be sitting near me. As you can see, there's nobody near me, but in front of me there's a couple people, a family or two, and I did this so I can film this video in peace. And I'm not really camera shy in public. You know, after doing modeling, acting, and YouTube for a while, I'm okay with a camera in front of my face. But because I'm in an Asian airport, I feel a little self-conscious, you know, because I don't want to be that guy. But other than that, I have to excuse myself again. Please forgive me for the way I look. I couldn't shower today. I only had 1 hour of sleep last night. I don't know, I just couldn't fall asleep last night. But yeah, so I got dark circles. My hair looks kind of flat and messy. And say goodbye to the hair because I'm gonna do a huge transformation this upcoming week. Okay, but anyways, let's get started with the video, like the real video, November favorites video starting now. Alright, so November was actually a very productive month, and when I have a productive month, that means I was very busy doing a lot of work. Essentially, YouTube, modeling, and working on my book, but more so, working on responses to the Dear Wuzhong emails. And I wanted to give you guys a quick update about the Dear Wuzhong emails. So I get about 30 to 50 Dear Wuzhong emails a day, and if you don't know what a Dear Wuzhong email is, it's essentially where you guys can send in an email asking for my assistance on your situation or problem, and I give you my perspective and personal opinion on how to handle the situation. So that's what the Dear Wujong video series are if you've been skipping them and not watching them. But anyways, I've been getting around 30 to 50 every day. Every day. And so I've been reading them, and I've been keeping the logistics of how to respond to them. And the ones that I get more frequently, I make it my effort to make a Dear Wujong video for those right away. So the toxic relationships one, I got over 100 and something emails, so I quickly made a response to that one because I knew a lot of you guys were having trouble with that one. But anyways, where am I going with this? This feels like a weekly wrap-up rather than a November favorites video. So I guess this can be 2 in 1. But anyways, I've been working on the responses to the Dear Wujong emails you guys have been sending in. This is my passion. I love helping you guys, but it's taking quite a lot of time because when you have to read 30 to 50 emails a day, it's kind of, it's overwhelming a little. But for me, it's not. It's just time consuming because I love what I'm doing. Because I know for a fact I'm impacting lives out there. And that gives me a great feeling deep down inside. So anyways, wow, I took a turn for the worse. I've been very productive, guys. So November was a very busy month. And I love being busy. Especially when it's in pursuit of my passion and my passion of helping people. But anyways, this month I only actually watched 2 movies, and they were both at the movie theater. I watched Ouija Board, The Origin of Evil. It's a scary movie, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are not fans of scary movies. I actually really liked the horror genre, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. The story was good, but I felt like the scary portion of the video was lacking, and so personally, I wouldn't recommend you watch it, especially if you're scared of paranormal stuff like ghosts. It's not worth the watch. It was good, but not worth the watch. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. Like if one of your friends is like, hey, let's watch it, then watch it. But if it's one of those things where you have to pay money to see it, then pass. The second movie that I saw was Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange, the production value was excellent. I could tell they spent millions on making the movie, not video. But other than that, well, I guess the entertainment value was there. It kept me engaged, but I didn't really like it. So this was a disappointing month in terms of movies. I'm hoping, actually, I know, because in December a lot of good movies roll out. Especially in America, because one of the traditions we have in America is that we go to the movie theaters with our loved ones on the night of or the night after Thanksgiving or Christmas. So during our holiday seasons, it's kind of like a tradition to go to the movie theater. I don't know if I'm gonna make the time limit, guys. Hold on, I have to check my watch because I don't want to miss my flight. Okay, how are we doing on time? Because mind you, I have a flight to board here in a little bit. So yeah, that sums up my movies for the month of November. But to make up for the disappointing movies for this month, I actually read a really good book. And the book I read was titled When Breath Becomes Air by Dr. Paul Kalanithi. And I'm gonna be quite frank and honest with you guys. It took me about a week to read this book, and I would read during my commutes on the subway. So maybe I should talk to you guys about that. So in Seoul, currently I live somewhere that's not centrally located. So it takes me about an hour to get to places in Seoul with the subway. Which, mind you, is a very efficient and, I wouldn't say flawless, but it's a pretty accurate mode of transportation, especially for public use. I'm a very big fan of the Seoul subway system. Usually I don't like public transportation. But anyways, during my commutes to wherever I need to go that day, whether it's auditions, meetings, interviews, or to do video collabs, it takes about an hour to get to locations. And I don't like to waste time. I'm a very big firm believer that time should not be wasted because time is very precious. And To put it into perspective, there are people right now that are in their deathbeds. Maybe it's like a 15-year-old who is battling leukemia, or an 87-year-old elderly woman who lived her life and is surrounded in her deathbed by her loved ones. And time, in that sense, is very valuable. Every minute feels like an eternity. I know, I hate to do that. I hate to use my deathbed analogy, because I know it invokes anxiety for a lot of you guys, but personally for me, the deathbed analogy motivates me, and it prevents me from procrastinating and wasting time. So I tend to use it a lot, the deathbed analogy. So anyways, I don't like to waste time when I'm on the subway, because most Koreans, from what I've noticed, when they sit on the subway, they literally just sit there listening to music for an hour. Which is okay. I mean, some people like to have their relaxation time listening to music. This is not all Koreans, by the way. This is like, I don't know, about 50% of the people that travel on the subway system. And it disturbs me, because in that hour, you can get a lot done. Okay, so sometimes it gets really crowded and noisy on the subway, and I understand that it's hard to do work. But for me, I utilize my commuting time to read. So I read standing up, or if I'm lucky enough to sit down and read. And if I'm not reading, then I write. And what do I write? I write in my journal, or I write little passages for my book. Oh my god, this is like not a November favorites video. I really do apologize. I'm gonna have to title this a weekly wrap-up plus November favorites video, because that's the more accurate title. But anyways, I use my my time on the subway to do work. And so it took me a week to read this book, and today I actually did the last final stretch, the last 20 or so pages, 20 or 30 pages on the plane. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, when breath becomes air, which is the title of the book, when I was getting to the end, I was crying. And the crazy thing is, I could feel the tears building up as the story progressed towards the end. And by the time I got to the last 10 or so pages, I was crying, like, not hysterically, but I had tears falling down my cheeks as I was flipping the page. Luckily, no one was sitting next to me on the flight. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about what I took away from this book and what this book means to me. To be honest with you guys, I could probably make a full 2 hours video discussing about the topics and ideas that were written in this book by Dr. Paul. But this is not a book summary or a discussion video. This is supposed to be a November favorites video. And so I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm holding the book in my lap right now, by the way. This is what it looks like. But I wanted to talk to you guys about 2 points that I highlighted and wrote notes for in the book, because I wrote all over the book. These are the 2 takeaways that I just wanted to talk to you guys without giving away too much of the book. So if you choose to read the book, I don't want to give away too much details. I'm doing you a favor. I'm not one of those people that like to ruin the ending or anything like that, but this is a memoir. It's kind of an autobiography, because it is about Dr. Paul. He was a neurosurgeon. He was a husband. He was a father. He was a writer, a philosopher. He was many things. But unfortunately, he was also a victim of a severe case of cancer. Now, I'm not giving away the ending, because this is explained on the title or the back cover page. It lets you know straight up front. This isn't a particular happy ending. But anyways, he questions and struggles to answer what it is to face death with integrity, or how does one pass away with integrity and bravery. This is a question that he always asked himself throughout all of his years. And once he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, it is when he started to formulate an answer to that philosophical question. But anyways, let me talk to you guys about two things that I highlighted. So the first one is actually during one of his discussions with a colleague, or in more accurate terms, a 선배. So somebody that was higher than him in the industry of science. His name was Dr. V, and he too was diagnosed with a terminal illness. I hate terminal illnesses, guys. It's just really unfair. But he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, his colleague. And the thing is, Dr. V, which is Dr. Paul's friend, he lived his entire life trying to help others and pursuing science to help enrich the lives of the people around him. So he dedicated his whole life to help people. And when he was facing uncertainty whether or not he would live much longer, he looked at Dr. Paul and he said, "Paul, do you think my life has meaning? Did I make the right choices?" And this is how Paul responded. It was stunning. Even someone I considered a moral exemplar had these questions in the face of mortality. And for me, that was pretty eye-opening, because even people that dedicate their lives, scientists, pastors, doctors, nurses, teachers, volunteer workers, emergency relief volunteer people, even people that dedicate their entire lives to serve others, they too question whether or not they lived a life that was worth living. And that really opened my eyes, because my tiny little eyes, my arms are getting tired. It really opened my eyes because I decided to dedicate my life for the betterment of others, to inspire hope, motivate, and uplift people through my videos, and eventually through my speaking seminars or conferences. I've decided that is the route I'm gonna go with. And it made me question, one day I am also going to die. I don't know what the cause of death will be, but it made me realize that when it is time for me to pass away from this world and go on to the next, that is one question that I really do not want to ask myself, because that's one of my fears, guys. I'm talking to you right now as like a man to man, or a man to woman, okay, whatever, regardless of your gender. I'm speaking to you as a person. This is something, I'm gonna be vulnerable real quick and share with you one of my fears. One of my fears is dying and passing away without leaving an impact on the world, because I truly believe it is my mission. That is the reason why I was put on this earth, to impact lives and help others become the best possible version of themselves. And one of my fears is that, what if I pass away without having accomplished this? Or doing it to the best of my capabilities? Because right now, I'm going balls deep nearly every day on my craft and perfecting my speaking. Because I truly want to help people. But I too am scared. What if I die, guys, and I don't leave my mark on the world as somebody who lived his days to help others? Because even Dr. V, a scientist who dedicated his entire life to the research and science of helping people, even he too questioned himself whether he lived a life that was worth it or meaningful. So, ask yourself, are you living a life that has meaning? If not, then what can you do to change that? Because it's not too late. Oh my god, I think I might miss my boarding. Okay, I'm gonna have to hurry up. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is, okay, I wanted to read a passage from the book. This is when he knows that he has terminal cancer, and he says, this is Dr. Paul, by the way, the guy who wrote the book. I had mapped out this whole 40-year career for myself. The first 20 as a surgeon scientist, the last 20 as a writer. But now that I am likely well into my last 20 years, I don't know which career I should be pursuing. And this is the notes that I wrote in response to that passage. And I'm sorry, I might cuss. Life plans are always tentative. Nothing is going to be exact or go as according to plan. I'm sorry, but Murphy's Law exists, guys. Shit happens. I think that might be the first cuss word I've ever said in my videos, but I have to get my point across. So don't plan too far ahead. Focus on the now. Focus on cherishing moments in the present, enjoying life now. And I also wrote, live your life as if you are going to die soon. You see, the thing is, okay, I really do have to make another video for this one. But I'll just say it in like 1 or 2 sentences. Do not live your life out with the philosophy of deferred gratification and living with a future-oriented mindset only. That can be one of the worst things you can do for yourself. Because, is my finger on the speaker? Can you hear me? Because tomorrow is not promised to nobody. So if you live your entire, oh my god, this is a paragraph, sorry. So if you live your entire life out in accordance to enjoying the future, you might be setting yourself up for the biggest disappointment, because you could literally pass away tomorrow in a car accident or be diagnosed with a terminal illness and never have the opportunity to reap the rewards of your hard work. Whatever it is that you're sacrificing, whatever it is that you're going through, that's a struggle right now. And if you're saying to yourself, oh, if I do this now, later I'll enjoy life. If I do this now, later I'll go on vacation. I'm gonna be quite frank with you guys. And this is coming from a guy who's optimistic. I'm not delusional, but I am optimistic. That tomorrow or that future actually may never come. Because as I said, our time to go from this earth, our time to die, pass away, we don't know when it is. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody. As a matter of fact, if you make it to this point in the video, I usually do it at the end, but if you make it to this point in the video, I want you to comment down below. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody. Okay? Alright, anyways, I really do have to go faster because my flight's leaving here in a little bit. I'm getting nervous too. Are you getting nervous? Anyways, I want to talk about my favorite food. My favorite food for the month of November was when I went to Japan last week and I had the opportunity to have authentic, real Japanese cuisine. And somebody actually took me around and gave me a tour. So thank you. Highly doubt that person's watching this video. But anyways, my favorite food for the month of November was tempura. In particular, shrimp or prawns, as they say in this region of the world. Shrimp or prawns, and koguma, which is sweet potato. It was so good. And also, Japanese ramen. Japanese ramen is really good. I'm sorry guys, the quality of this video is about to go down because I really do have to rush to make my flight on time. My favorite quote was, "One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will be the most beautiful," by Dr. Sigmund Freud, which is one of the most, well, he's one of the fathers of modern day psychology, but he's also one of the most controversial psychologists. And the reason why I'm knowledgeable in this area is because I was actually, my undergrad, my bachelor's from university was actually in psychology, and I had plans to become a clinical psychologist or a therapist. But now I decided to be a speaker instead. A motivational, inspirational speaker, author, whatever, what have you. But this was my favorite quote because there is beauty in the struggle. This is my humble beginnings of the career I am seeking. I can't say that I'm broke, but I am very poor right now. And the reason why I'm not broke is because the contributions made by my supporters on Patreon. So thank you guys, and for those of you supporting me on PayPal, thank you. So I'm not broke, but I am very poor. So as such, I am living, well, in Korea, I was currently living on the floor of my friend's place. And sometimes it's hard, you know, 힘들어. But there's beauty in the struggle, guys. And I love every minute of it. Because I enjoy struggling because I know that I am in pursuit of my passion. So it makes every moment, good or bad, worth it. And I can go really into depth about it, and you guys know how I can meander and go on rants and speeches that go on for 10 minutes. So I can't do that because I literally have 7 or 8 minutes until I gotta go. So I'm gonna move on to my favorite music or song for the month of November. And alright, so my new bias girl group is now JYP's Twice. I tried for the longest time not to like them because I wanted to respect my previous bias groups, but every single song of theirs is so catchy, I just can't help it. And so the song that finally won me over was TT. So catchy. So freaking catchy. And number 2, I've been listening to a lot of American R&B and hip-hop. In particular, I've been listening to a lot of Eric Bellinger, Tory Lanez, Roy Woods, and Bryson Tiller. I don't know, guys. It makes me feel some type of way, and I really like it. So I've been listening to a lot of R&B and hip-hop, which is a genre that I never really liked up until this point. So I guess I'm expanding my horizons in terms of my music taste. But also, I'm going back to my roots of enjoying indie music. I've always been a fan of indie music, but these days I've been because I live in Korea, I've kind of neglected listening to indie. But I've been listening to indie music again, and in particular, I've been listening to Gallant. Now, Gallant his voice is angelic. And if you're interested at all, then try Weight in Gold or his song Open Up. You won't regret it. But also I've been listening to one of my favorite indie artists, Fleet Foxes. Do you know them? Anything by them is a masterpiece. But if you don't know who Fleet Foxes, if you don't know who they are, then I recommend you start with the track Sun Giant. I think you will like it. Okay, so my favorite day or moment was, I have to take it back real quick. During my university days, I actually had Japanese as my minor at one point. And my sensei, she would always, I think I was her favorite student. She always liked me, but anyways, we would always watch YouTube videos and of the textbook illustrations of Japanese culture. And we would watch YouTube videos and we would have discussions, and she would tell us her personal experiences of living in Japan. And I remember at the time, as a young 20-something-year-old, thinking, oh, that's cool, but I'll probably never end up going to Japan. But I did. Last week, I went. And so my favorite day or moment was last week when I was in Japan and I was living out the classroom examples of Japanese culture, and I witnessed what I thought was interesting and firsthand. And this is why I'm a huge advocate of traveling. Okay, I feel a rant coming on, so let me end it right there. So my favorite day or moment was when I went to Japan. And a new thing that I want to do is I want to talk about my personal favorite video of mine for the past month, and I'm going to try to incorporate this for the rest of my monthly favorite videos. My personal favorite video that I made is one that I think helped a lot of people, because I read the comments and I don't have time to respond to all the comments. Oh, and speaking of which, responding, so the Dear Woojong emails that you guys send me, so I'm not going to respond to them through email, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather the email or gather the email in my head, and if there's multiple ones, I will respond to it in a general sense through a Dear Woojong video, or if it's very personal and individualized and no one else has the same story, then I'll respond to it through the video, but leaving out some details to protect your identity. So anyways, I was reading your comments on my videos, and I agree with you guys on a lot of what you said, because the video, okay, maybe I should tell you what video I'm choosing. So the video that was my personal favorite was why I got rid of most of my friends. And it's a video where I talk about how to walk away from toxic relationships, and if you are in one, a video where I try to give you the courage and strength for you to walk away from a toxic, abusive, malicious friendship, familyship, whatever you want to call it, to walk away from that negative energy. So that was my personal favorite, because I know that it's going to help and impact a lot of you. And to the people who haven't watched already, the potential viewers. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my supporters on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you guys for allowing me to do what I am able to do today. Without you, I am nothing. I will add something in right here to give you guys acknowledgement. And with that said, I literally have 3 minutes until my boarding begins, and I have to run down the terminal because I'm on the other side where there's nobody. And I have to go all the way down to the other side of the terminal. But anyways, if you make it to the end of this video, please comment down below what I asked for earlier in this video. I love you guys. Stay strong. Stay hopeful. Don't waste time. And I'll see you guys next time. 그러면 오늘은 여기까지만 끝낼게요. 다음 영상 만나요. 안녕.